Hi, everybody. Welcome. My name is Omar Al-Sobti, and I am the blockchain advisor and part of the executive team at Immunify.Life. I am very, very excited to be part of this conversation here with the CEO and founders of Immunify.Life, so Guy Newing, and World Mobile CEO and founder, Micky Watkins. Two blockchain projects that are actually doing something good in the world and helping emerging economies in Africa and, of course, globally. Recently, you all are aware, the community, that World Mobile has strategically partnered with Immunify.Life. Very exciting, a long time coming. And this conversation is a deep dive into the partnership, the different countries that we're working together, and Cardano, and capitalizing on those synergies and what does that all mean for everyone. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce these guys. Micky is the CEO of World Mobile. And Micky, do you want to give us a little bit of a brief introduction and just a brief touch on World Mobile for the Immunify.Life community? Thanks.
With pleasure. Thank you very much for hosting this, Omar. And Guy, great to see you again and be in the same virtual room with you. World Mobile is a global mobile network operator built on blockchain. Our major objective is to connect the unconnected. We are starting in Tanzania, Kenya, and there's a few other countries on our maps as well. We use a hybrid mobile dynamic network. Sounds like a lot of words, but essentially we're using Wi-Fi and unlicensed free spectrums, as well as a combination of licensed spectrums in order to provide connectivity to people that can afford it, as opposed to the legacy operators that have left half the world offline.
And to you as well, Guy, just a little bit about yourself and, of course, Immunify.Life.
Well, hi, everybody, and thanks for this opportunity, Omar, and great to catch up with you again, Micky. Immunify.Life, our goal is to use the latest in blockchain technology to improve the health and well-being of those in need. We're focused very much on emerging economies. And the problem we're trying to address is that despite the fact that billions of dollars are being invested every year by healthcare, governments, NGOs in Africa, health outcomes are extremely very poor. For example, Micky, people born in England now, 1 in 6 of them will live to be 100. Whereas in Africa, life expectancies are still around 65. So our plan is to use blockchain technology to empower people to use data to improve their lives and their life expectancies.
There it is. So internet and healthcare. Perfect. Makes perfect sense there. So, of course, we have done this strategic partnership, and I can see some clear synergies there. But I think one of the most important ones you both have mentioned, and we did at the beginning of this conversation as well, is Africa. Why Africa?
Africa, the continent, is huge. It's misrepresented on maps. The population in sub-Saharan Africa is about 1.3 billion people. From this 1.3 billion people, it's estimated that in between 850 million and 900 million people do not have access to internet. Yet it is the youngest continent on the planet with an average age of 19.3 years old, and one of the most advanced in many ways. Mobile money wallets, over 500 million mobile money wallets, the highest proportion in the world, and a skipping of the laptop and the desktop computers. So a mobile phone has been the prime use case for technology there. So Africa is very exciting. By connecting Africa, by allowing the connectivity to happen over there, we're unlocking a global economy. We're unlocking probably the biggest gig economy the world's ever seen, and we're unlocking a huge amount of potential. So we have 23 countries that we are going into. We're currently into 4 or 5. That includes Tanzania, Zanzibar, Kenya, Nigeria, and now we're moving up and towards Senegal as well. So right. All of Africa is on our map.
I think the story is quite similar. The thing that really motivated me about Africa is that the gap between health outcomes in established economies and Africa is so big. Mm-hmm. That's the real tragedy. And I think it's very solvable. Using the latest technology, we can, as Micky said, leapfrog countries like America, England, Australia, where we have legacy systems which are really holding us back. Whereas in Africa, you can go straight to the most advanced systems using just a mobile phone and a digital network. These people living in small remote communities can have access to the most sophisticated healthcare and other solutions as well. The most exciting news for us is in Kenya, where we're partnering with a local university and a big NGO, AMPATH, in Africa, to do a world-first study in HIV, where we're looking at using crypto rewards to improve health outcomes, which no one else has ever done. We're also doing work in Zanzibar with the Zanzibar Nursing Association there, and also Zambia with a very interesting COVID certificate project. But we don't have quite as many countries in the pipeline as World Mobile, but we do have 4 or 5 other countries that we're talking to as well.
Great, fantastic. Why, Guy, has Immunify partnered with World Mobile?
Well, I think from a starting point, we are very strategically aligned from our philosophy point of view. World Mobile is all about connecting the unconnected, advocating for economic freedom and dignity. And that's very much where we're coming from as well. We're about empowering people to take control of their medical data and, earn from that. When you think some of the people we're talking to, the populations, they might earn $2 or $3 a day. We are giving them a chance to take control of their medical data, use the digital network to share their data and actually profit from that. And just as World Mobile are connecting the last mile, they're taking the digital network and extending it to these remote communities. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to be leveraging the data network to extend our offer and our health ecosystem to those people. So I can see there's a brilliant synergy. We're both targeting the same group of people, both trying to make a difference.
I think the clear thing is that we're both striving to use blockchain to make people's lives better. Connectivity is the starting point of everything. Without connectivity, everything is hard. The World Bank, the United Nations, they recognize that without connectivity, healthcare, poverty, education massively fail in countries compared to where there is connectivity. It's easy for us to take things for granted, right? We're born into connectivity. We've got everything at our fingertips. When the COVID pandemic came, we had all access to understand what was going on, even though the world really didn't understand what was going on. We had a source of information that we were able to log into on our phones or on our computers every single day, and at least try to decipher what was happening. We don't only provide connectivity, right? Connectivity is the base layer. We provide digital identity on top of that. So when digital identity comes in, all of a sudden you can start to really see how Immunify and such companies can complement the ecosystem, the ecosphere of World Mobile. So World Mobile will offer Immunify.Life's healthcare platform to all customers on our network via the App Store, and introduce the Immunify team also to governments and to countries that we're working with. And I believe that Immunify will do the same, and we will help each other grow.
100%, I agree with that. But to give a practical example of how the two technologies might work together, let's look at Zanzibar, where World Mobile already have a very good footprint. We're currently talking to the Zanzibar Nursing Association. They have needs there in terms of strengthening their healthcare system. They want us to support their medical management of anemia, for example, but they also have a need to improve their internet connectivity. So I can see a perfect synergy there where we work with World Mobile to not only improve their health outcome, but increase their exposure to the digital network.
Vaccinations, let's talk about vaccinations. Going into rural areas, if you don't have a fridge and you don't have internet, it's so very difficult to vaccinate people. The reason you don't have a fridge is because you don't have power. So you have to drag along a generator with you. It's not sustainable. Well, mobile, in the areas that we're in, we have air nodes. Air nodes are powered by backup batteries and solar. So immediately you're fixing two major problems. And with a solution like Immunify, you're able to fix the final solution, which is able to reward people to put immutable, transparent data onto a blockchain that can comply.
We're also looking at our first study in Western Kenya. We're working with the university in AMPATH. We're going to be going into rural areas where there is not good connectivity. We'll be trying to deliver healthcare there using the mobile network. And so obviously this is a great opportunity for World Mobile to extend their coverage, but also us to extend our delivery of healthcare.
Just to put some perspective into that, so around 50% of Kenya is unconnected, unable to use the internet. So without working with companies like World Mobile that are trying to fix this connectivity problem, to connect the unconnected, it's very difficult. So Immunify have identified something that's really important for blockchain and healthcare connectivity.
let's go into one of the most important bits here. The underlying technology here is very similar. We both are using Immunify, and Will Mobile is using Cardano. So how are you both using the Cardano blockchain? And also, why did you both choose the Cardano blockchain?
We've been attracted to Cardano because primarily the top things would be they've got a very ambitious scope of work. They're scalable, they're fast, inexpensive, and highly decentralized. So that's very appealing to us. We're talking about high volumes of transactions, and they have to be low cost. And we also like the fact that they've got that two-layered architecture and the proof of stake approach, which means that it should be environmentally friendly as well. And I also like the fact that they are African focused, and also they've got this scientific bent where they're focused on scientifically peer-reviewed blockchain. So to me, it's a very good alignment with what we're trying to do.
Similar backgrounds from our perspective. We've been working with IOHK, now known as IOG, for the last three and a half years. Cardano is the only peer-reviewed blockchain, very sustainable, very scalable. We kind of operate as a layer 1.5 with node operators providing decentralized telecommunication services, including communications as a service, content as a service, etc. But we're using the Cardano chain as a settlement layer, and we're utilizing Hydra, which is very impressive, as a scaling solution. There wasn't another choice. We looked around, and there was nobody more dedicated to unlocking the potential of Africa. Charles is extremely passionate, putting his own weight behind the project himself. John O'Connor is a very good friend, tirelessly works to improve the ecosystem and to lay down the foundations that are needed to make this happen. And of course, you can't bank the unbanked without connecting the unconnected first. So it was perfect. It was a perfect synergy, very symbiotic.
Right. Awesome stuff, guys. So what's next? What's happening? Guy, what's happening next for you guys? And yeah, what's next for the partnership?
Yeah, well, Omar, we've got heaps coming on. We've got a very busy couple of months. We're kicking off the HIV study in Kenya, which is really a world first, where we're using cryptocurrency to try and improve compliance with HIV medication. We've also got the Zambia work, where we're going to be looking at creating NFT certificates for COVID vaccinations. And we're also trying to finalize our plans for the opioid addiction study in New Mexico in America, where we're going to be using cryptocurrency to try and improve the recovery of heroin addicts. So we've got lots on.
Awesome. Micky, yourself?
Must say, very noble work, Guy. Obviously, I know that because we strategically partnered with you, but not only is it something that's very needed, it's also very noble as well. For us at World Mobile, it's crazy times. Mass deployment going on the ground with air nodes that are just about to be pushed to the blockchain. So it's a super exciting time working with the big tech companies, 3-4 of the biggest ones in the world right now, in order to deliver our solutions inside and outside of Africa. And yeah, I'm very excited.
Great, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I think that was a very good conversation. It's always nice and always a pleasure, never a chore to be here having a conversation with you guys. More to come in the future, of course. Good luck for everyone's development. And of course, we're just going to keep in touch throughout this whole thing. And big congratulations, Micky, for Fulham. That's a great achievement there. How do you feel about that?
It was a great choice, a great team, a team that care about Africa, about the continent, and care about the state of connectivity around the planet. And we're looking forward to supporting them next year as well in the Premier League. Fantastic.
Any Guy, yourself, are you going to be sponsoring any football teams, rugby teams in the future?
Well, I'm more of a rugby fan, but my son's a Tottenham fan, so he doesn't have a lot of love for the Cottagers, but all the best. And I think, if any team's deserves to do well, it's one that's taking care of Africa and wants to make a difference there. So good luck.
When the Fulham-Tottenham derby's on, we'll get him some tickets, okay? But he'll have to come to Fulham to watch them, so he'll have to wear a World Mobile Fulham shirt.
Beautiful. I think I can get him to do that.
Brilliant.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Guy. Thank you very much, Omar.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.
Cheers, guys.